folder called formulas. No, you closed it? No. Okay, yeah, here. So this is the user shared directory of the manager server, and there we have a folder called formulas. It's here, and every thing that gets dropped into this folder will automatically get detected. So we prepared some formulas in the demo folder. Yeah, so we have a web server formula that's actually working, and a database formula that's just for showing some stuff. And if we drop, and maybe you can show the SUSE manager first. Yeah. So here we added a new tab called Formula Catalog, where you can see all your formulas, and currently we have none. But if we now drop some formulas into the folder, so if we just take those two formulas, yeah, and drop them into the formula folder, and then they should show up in this formula catalog. Yeah, there they are. So we have a database in the web server formula, and now we can go into our group. In this case, we have set up a web server group, and there also is a new tab over here that's also called formulas, and there you can configure a formula for this group. So here we can select the formulas that we have installed. For example, in this case, we can take the web server and apply it. And then we can go to one of the systems that is in the group. Here we have one web server. And this also has a formula tab now. And this now shows the formula that's defined in the web server folder that we just dropped in before. So this all changes dynamically depending on a JSON file. So if you maybe have a database, we can show it later, then the form will change and ask you different questions that maybe you want for your database. Yeah, so here you can set the title and some other settings, and if you now save it and apply the high state.
Well, let's first show that the server is not configured yet.
Yeah.
So, not working yet.
So currently the web server is not working, and if we now apply the high state, then all this data gets put into the pillar files and sent to the server. And if the high state applies, then the server should be running. Oh, not applying yet. Mach's einfach über die Konsole. Okay, something is not working with SUSE Manager, so we just apply it over the console, but usually this should be working. Yesterday it worked. Okay, so now the high state for the web server is applied, and if you now reload it, it takes some time for the load balancer to detect that the web server is now running. But if that happens, then this should show the web server. Vorher das funktioniert.
Das Konzept ist klar.
Ja, wir können.
Dann zeigen wir einfach mal.
Okay, so something's not working right now, but we can at least show what happens if we select another formula. And yeah, so if we go to the web server group, formula, we now, that's up there. We now change the web server to database. Obviously, that doesn't make very much sense on the web server group, but just for testing. If we now go back to the web server, then on the formula tab, the form changes. So now it shows username, password, and yeah, you can select your database type. And yeah, again, apply it. This one isn't really working currently, but yeah, then it should automatically apply all the data and configure the database.
One more thing. Yeah, so there's a side project that we did this morning, basically. I wanted to make use of the Raspberry Pi with the Sense head, and yeah, we've just written a little piece of salt integration for that one. And we can show that just on the command line. That one, yeah. So basically, let's bring it up on the top. What it does is we just added a new salt module called message that has a function display, and you can just send. Did we try this?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that positional arguments work, but it works like this.
It works.
So we send a string called test, and the mode is warning, so it should be in orange. It is. And now, if you change it to, let's say, error, then it should be red. So obviously you can hook that up to any other stuff you do with salt and just send any kind of alerts. You can do anything with those LEDs that you want. So you can have pictures, you can have change the colors, these texts that's pre-built, can have single letters or those rolling texts with different speeds and everything. The bad thing is that this currently needs the Raspbian image because no one has packaged up the support for this additional SenseHead hardware piece yet for the Raspberry 3. Okay.
What was the name of the normal state?
Normal is status.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. You have to backslash it.
No, it should work. Yeah, now it's in green.
Okay. So much for now. And yeah, the web server states usually actually apply. There's just something wrong with the scheduler and SUSE manager at the moment. Yeah, I don't know what we broke there. So this is all done in the real SUSE manager code. The only hack that we did is that we didn't figure out exactly how the Hibernate and the database stuff works. So all the persistency is basically done with files. So that's the only hack. But all the UI work is real. Yeah.
Yeah, and also the forms should apply, so you can, as you saw before, maybe change the title of the website or change the theme, and then it automatically changes the CSS in the file and changes the theme. Yeah, but something with the state isn't working right now, so we can't really show it. But yesterday it worked, as it's always the case.
Zeigen wir noch schnell, wie es ausschaut. Ne? Wo war das jetzt? User Share Salt, gell?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the JSON file that configures the formula. In this case, we just have a title.
Up on top.
Okay. Yeah, so here you have the three form fields that we saw before: the title, the theme, and the disclaimer. And depending on the type, it automatically detects what form to use for. So if you have a list, then you have a drop-down menu, and if it's Boolean, then it shows a checkbox, and Yeah, and the text, obviously, a text box.
Yeah, and of course we left some work for you guys, because this doesn't translate, of course. It doesn't allow you to define actual types like date or whatever, but I think you get the concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Questions? Any questions? Okay. So for the SUSE manager team, if you want an in-depth demo and look at the code, you can just come to us later.
Please send us a pull request.
You don't want to just get this.